Loud enough for you, mate?
Far out, man. Hey everyone, welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here. Hello.
It's a glorious thing.
Because the internet needs another video about tube screamers, doesn't it?
Yep.
I woke up this morning.
And I said to myself...
Why are we making... Actually, no. Let's do some housekeeping. Welcome. Housekeeping time.
Indeed. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Massive thank you to anyone that's gone to thatpedalshowstore.com and merchy up.
Yes. Merchy to the heavens.
Indeed. It's the main way we fund the show, so thank you for everyone for your support with that. Also, massive thank you to our patrons on Patreon.
Indeed. Patreon.com/thatpedalshow, and also please check out thatpedalshop.com.
Hurrah!
Good. Yes. As we said, the world needs another video about tube screamers. Why, Dan?
There's been a new release of green things. I see petals of green.
We might have missed one, but we know
probably missed loads.
The two newest are the Halcyon from Origin Effects, and you can see that in a recent NPD. And also the Moxie from Wampler, which we've done just recently. Regular viewers will know that Tube Screamer is very dear to my heart. It's my all-time favourite overdrive pedal, probably. Largely thanks to Stevie Ray and E-flat strats and all that kind of thing that it does so beautifully to a black panel Fender amp and similar. Also, they're used widely in heavier styles. We probably won't get into that today, but very popular in heavier styles, into the front of a cranked 5150 or a Marshall or a rectifier or something in order to do a shaping job. Like we say, probably won't get into that. So we wanted to have a good listen to the Halcyon and the Moxie. Next to, this is my favourite tube screamer.
It's a corker.
It's an 808 modified by Keeley. It's not a true bypass mod. It's the, I think they called it the Plus mod or something.
Right.
So a bit more gain, bit more bass, bit more treble.
Okay.
If you want it at the extremes of the controls, but in the middle, straight up 808 types tube screamer, not true bypass. The Kaffir Lime, which is our kind of more cost-effective offering today from Tone City. And just for good measure, everyone is talking about the Kernom Ridge. Again, we've done it in an NPD. Just want to see how dialable it is in TS world.
Yeah, because the TS is such a specific sounding thing. It's a pedal that I've struggled with. The closest I've come to Tube Screamer love is probably my Love Pedal Eternity, which is sort of very similar to a Tube Screamer but without the buffers in it. But it has that mid shape. It's just maybe a little bit more dynamic. You actually put the Love Pedal Eternity and a Tube Screamer together. They sound quite different, but there are similarities there.
Yeah, because of the mid hump.
But that's the closest that I've come to it.
The one thing we want on the pedal board today, but we don't have because Dan lent it to Ed O'Brien, is the
Hudson sidecar.
The Hudson sidecar, yeah. So with apologies to Michael and Hudson for not having that here, because that is my other favourite one.
Okay. Well, let's hear your favourite one.
Yeah.
You have some schwungage.
So for those of you who are sick of tube screamers and strats and all of that, don't worry, we'll get away from that quite quickly.
Sick of tube screamers and strats?
Lots of people do.
Really?
Yeah. Because the point of the Kaffir Lime, the Halcyon and the Moxie, and indeed the Kernom Ridge, is that they can go beyond this typical thing that we think of as tube screamers. So we'll spend some time deciding how close we can get and then go, well, yeah, but actually where we really want to go is over here.
Okay.
So yeah, this is my favourite. TS808, it's an Ibanez reissue, but modded by Keeley, and I bought this, I think, maybe for my 30th birthday or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe my 32nd or 33rd birthday.
Okay.
I can't exactly remember, which I am now 48 years old, so you can do the maths on that. I'll trip you through,
please,
the gain and level ranges, and then Dan can have a play because he doesn't like tube screamers, so we'll see if we can get him to like it.
All right.
Amps today, 2-Rock TS1 in the clean channel, Fender Deluxe Reverb, 65 Deluxe Reverb, and they are sounding, to my ears anyway,
magic.
Very pleasant.
Magic.
Yeah, very pleasant.
that sound, for me, is I think the sound that everyone's going for with the Strat.
It's E flat, right? So that helps a bit.
Okay.
And it does give you that kind of chewy, roundy thing.
Right.
So
I say everyone. I mean, you know, when I hear Strat players that want to do that, the edgy, bluesy thing, it's like that's the sound that I think so many people are trying to get their hands on.
And that is so home for me.
Yeah,
That's
right.
how, those are the tones that I grew up with, and maybe not with the 2-rock, but that are just closest to my heart. And I love that. And I love it deeply. And it just reminds me doing it, how much I love it.
Okay.
So that's why the TS is home for me. Lots of people hate it. That's your thing. Dan is not a big fan. Come on then. Let's see if we can define why you don't like it.
Okay. I know what it is.
I think I know what it is.
I don't need any more mid-range
Yeah.
with this guitar. I just don't. And I don't want to lose any of that top end, especially the neck pickup, because with a Telecaster, you fight so hard to retain the top end. However, I've worked one thing out today, just hearing you play, going to the neck pickup. Because it's slicing out a big thing of bottom end, the woolliness goes on the neck pickup tones. They can sometimes be muddy. With that on, it's clear and articulate.
Yeah, so not only does the classic TS circuit lop off a bit of bottom end, it also overdrives the lower frequencies less.
Yeah.
The lower
so
you
a
go,
clarity
there's
there.
less overdrive on those frequencies. Okay, so let's move along then. Let's see if we can improve your world with the Kaffir Lime.
Okay.
So this has got high and low control, right? So
Oh, okay.
it should start off fairly TS sounding. Let's do a quick AB. I've rolled on the highs and rolled on the lows.
Yeah.
See if it's a happier place for you.
That little bit of extra top end in there is nice.
Puts it more into Noble's ODR1 territory
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So if you
It's killer, but the 808, it has a magic to it. It's just, I think with Strats,
It does one thing.
but it's a very, very magical thing with Strats.
But I think the Kaffir Lime perfectly illustrates the kind of, if you define them as such, the shortcomings of the classic 808. And then the 9's not a million miles away, to be fair. And by being able to roll on those lows and highs, it puts it back towards something that you would recognise as a kind of more wide range overdrive.
Okay.
So conversely, if you go back the other way with those, we should get into the mid territory again of the of the classic sound.
Nice.
Pretty good showing.
Yeah, really good.
For, I think it's 45 quid or something, current price in November 2022.
Nice.
Halcyon then, from Origin. We have done a deeper dive on this. Again, Dan, I think there's two things on here that we discovered that you like.
Yes.
They are both the non-traditional Tube Screamer things.
Yes.
Gagné. So in the mod position, same thing. More bass, more treble.
Yeah. That's certainly a sound that I could use.
Yeah, it's because it takes it out of there.
Yeah.
I'll just, again, do the Strat thing. Try some humbuckers in a sec. So if we just left it where it was, where Dan had it there, we'd be kind of... man. I like that. Next to there's elements of that I am extremely happy with.
Right.
Bit more presence. The adapt modes change what happens when you turn the volume down. It was surprising to me, actually. If you play for a sec, Dan, what was surprising to me is that it seemed to get thicker in the mid-range when you had the adapt on.
Okay.
See if I'm right with that.
Taylor.
It only makes a difference when the guitar's turned down.
Yeah.
And one thing we didn't investigate very much in the NPD is the dry mix.
Yeah.
So if you keep playing, I'll just dial that in and out, and you can see put a bit more drive on. I think that dry control is really useful if you're using it in a boostier situation.
Okay.
So if we have a little bit less drive and a bit more level, here you go. I think if you put it down to 0 for a second, turn it up as I'm playing.
Okay.
I think what you end up with is a kind of cleaner presentation of everything.
Okay.
So I'll go on the position 2 there because it's nice. It's quite subtle
Yeah. So
on the single notes.
So what they're saying is that in the mid position, it's the same as a stock tube screamer,
Yeah.
and then bend it around. But you can definitely hear that added extra little bit of clarity in when you're doing the boosty thing when it's turned up.
Yeah, because if you're getting too much fur around the edge of the notes, a bit more clean signal, happy days.
Yeah, and don't forget, because that was too distorted. So not too distorted. When it's very distorted, that note's going to sustain longer, and the clean bend you get an attack and then fires off. So, with the less overdrive on, that's when you sort of notice it more. But yeah, it's a lovely feature.
Dare I say, it could get you closer to TS10 sort of territory.
Yeah, right.
A little bit, because it's, yeah.
Cool.
All right, Moxie then. I think it's set up currently in its most classic Tube Screamer setting. There's a gainier mode, which they call fat, and a voice mode. Not that different actually from the mod mode on the Halcyon.
Right.
So if you just play for a sec, Dan, I'll just show you the difference between the two voices. One's very TS-y and the other one is much more full range, as it were. Tell you what is interesting today, it's the first time in months I've noticed the hum louder than the sound.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Unbelievable 60 cycle hum today. 60 cycle hum. Hello, Ryan. RF coming through.
Yeah, right.
Where you are is particularly bad.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's quite bad. We'll get some humbuckers in a sec. Okay, can it do classic Tube Screamer then? Let's see. Mid-range feels like it's still shifted up just a touch.
Sure. But that works for me.
Yeah, you prefer that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That's my favourite so far.
Killer.
Yeah.
Nice. Kernom Ridge then. This is so interesting because it's the only pedal we've seen with a continually variable clipping control for the clipping diodes.
Yeah, not to be mistaken with an overdrive section, a gain stage section. It's a... Well, yeah, it's not to be mistaken. It's not an overdrive knob. It's basically, it takes you through different clipping stages and how much is hitting them. So it's super interesting. You've got like higher headroom, bit more clarity to
Softer
stuff, and then up to the higher distortion, higher clipping, almost fuzzy stuff to the right hand side. Yeah, and
plus pre and post gain EQ, which really does help the shaping.
Yeah.
So we kind of roll off a bit high end, focus the mids a bit. We shouldn't be a million miles away, I don't think.
One would think.
Well, we heard it in the intro, so we weren't a million miles away, but. It's almost ultra Tube Screamer at the moment. A little bit more post highs maybe. I think that's around to the right. I'm sure we could keep
tweaking.
tweaking.
That's pretty good though.
A little bit more clip on there, I think, and we'd be. Let me just try that set. Still wants a bit of bottom end carving out of it, but
Yeah.
killer.
It's really great. It's really great.
And that's just like 1% of what it can do. We've been really, really impressed with that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also, you can store presets with it and, you know, all that.
Oh yeah, it does
shenanigans.
M1D1.
It does all that stuff.
Does M1D1.
And 1D1.
Dan, choose another guitar.
Okay.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Dan's gone for Gretsch Broadtron territory with the Player's Edition Jet. I've gone for P90s
Nice.
with the soap bar, which I haven't played for ages. This has got Lola soap bars in it. So completely different. Kettle of coconuts. Come on then.
Man, we're really pushing it today. It's great. It's an astonishing guitar, this thing.
So, what we've come to associate with this guitar is a little bit of a mid-scoop, which is perfect because the Tube Screamer puts it back in.
Yeah.
This may well be the opposite. Not as honky as I was expecting.
No, it actually...
Nice rock noise.
Well, I think the mid-range coming from that is actually softened.
Yeah.
You know, it sort of hits the mid-frequencies and that, it just sort of saturates more. You know?
It's the shame of the dust on this guitar.
I know, look,
Dan.
I've got...
This has been sat in the
same.
control room for a bit, so...
I've got
sorry
the same
about
on
that.
this thing.
All right, Kaffir Lime then. Going to go for something very different now.
Wow.
That's in a nice place.
Yeah.
The mid for the feedback.
So it's what's really interesting. The mid range from those P90s, I think it worked really well with the 808, but that extra bit of bottom end, that's got, and the extra bit of sizzle,
Yeah,
it's just in a magic place for that.
very nice.
It's really cool.
We're just mucking about now, aren't we?
We are.
Let's carry on then. How about some of this, Dan? Come on, let's see where we go. Let's try something less overdrive.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Really lovely that you can just be on that point of perfect feedback. I mean, I think the 2-rock is helping because
You think?
it is focused. It is focused
That
there.
yeah, because there's that vocal thing coming out of that.
Yeah.
That is just magic. But I like for a guitar that does smile a bit,
Yeah.
it does help it sit in that really lovely place. That's really impressive.
Okay, let's see. I don't know for 1 second if I'm going to be able to get this in tune because it hasn't been played for a minute. But
I bet it's going to be perfectly in tune as you play it. Just going to be.
so that mid-range focus thing is making me wanting to move on to the Moxie here.
Okay.
And get that thick overdrive sound with a bit
Yeah,
of
yeah.
delay that,
Yeah,
that we know about. Yeah. Let's see if we can get this. I know we're not. We've left the AB comparisons behind here.
Yeah,
We're just having a bit of fun now. Far out, man.
Heck!
Far out.
That sounds amazing.
That mate, I've been wanting to change the pickups in this, but when you hear that, it's like, what is the point, man?
Yeah. The Moxie is killing it. It sounds awesome. I mean, for the non-traditional tube screamer thing, it still has the mids, but I love that the voice and the fat switch. They're great. They're just in a really nice spot for me.
Yeah, me too. Me too. To visit the Kernom Ridge again would be kind of crazy because it does such an unbelievably wide range of stuff. I think it's a different question. The reason it was on there really is just to see how close we could get to that TS-y kind of sound, and I think we got a long way there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, super impressive.
That was good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It reminds me I need to play this flipping guitar more.
Yeah, it's
What a great
magic
sound.
thing.
So what do we like about Tube Screamers then? Well, I like the thing that it does with E-flat strats
Right.
because it is that sound,
Yeah.
especially when you partner it with a Fender Black Panel amp. What I also like about them is that vocal mid-range, and Dan proved it time after time today, and it also happened on this guitar. The feedback is in exactly the right spot, the harmonic feedback.
And it means that you don't have to work so hard. You can lean back on it and just let it do the work. You know, it'll pick up as long as your amps are sitting in the right place and not playing too quietly. That mid range sat in that. So what is it? It's like between like 800.
Yeah, it's 5 to 800.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a bunch up from there as well, but that's the bit that's going to make the guitar howl and sing, and or at least help it get going, should we say?
And the nature of the clipping, it's still really dynamic. But especially for me, I've got to have that bit of top end back in there.
So actually, for Dan today, the pedal you wouldn't have is the original 808.
Yeah.
But all the others, I think.
Well, the others do it. I think the Moxie sound, like for me, the Halcyon obviously sounds great, but there's I don't know, I thought the Moxie just felt, like, you know, for what I'm doing, it just sat in a really nice spot. It's great.
Really good, really good. And fair play to the Kaffir Lime, you know. We know that cost-effective pedals are available. Sometimes they come up short. I don't think it came up short today.
No, it's great.
I think it sounded fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, for me, Strat-wise, that particular 808 still does that thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's still, I mean, you could tweak forever and get closer and closer and closer. I don't need to. That does the job.
Yeah.
Banging. Yeah. But for more versatility, really great show.
Yeah.
Really great showing.
How do you... Like, this won't be the last new Tube Screamer pedal that we see.
Yeah.
Right? How do you... I mean, do you think there's further to go with it? You know what I mean? Because we will see, every year we'll see another company bring out a TS-style pedal. I'm just wondering where else they can take that circuit. So much has been done with it.
Yeah, I guess you could take it to the nth degree, don't you? And the more you take it, the less it's a tube screamer.
Yeah.
So it's that. I think actually the Halcyon and the Moxie nail it on.
Yeah, it's a perfect balance because they've got everything that's special about the tube screamer in there. But it's like, actually, if you want a bit here and a bit here.
Don't get us wrong, there are many more out there with similar features. It's just that the Moxie and the Halcyon are relatively new, so we thought we really ought to stack them up against the fave.
Yeah, it's nice to play a tube screamer again.
Yeah, because you take these things for granted, don't you? And it goes in your memory banks at how it sounds, but then actually hearing it again, I've got to say I'm loving this amp. I'm absolutely loving this amp.
It is extraordinary. So
So
I'll be hearing it for days.
Yeah, it was quite loud today. Actually.
Lovely,
Yeah.
lovely.
And that particular frequency that does doing it to you in the ear hole.
Oh, yeah.
To quote George Clinton.
Right. Yeah. Nice. There you go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Massive thank you to our preferred retailers in the UK and Europe is...
Anderton's Music of Guildford in Surrey, where you can buy, I would say, all of this stuff.
Yeah. And our mates in Australia.
Would be Pedal Empire of Brisbane, Queensland. And again, you can probably buy most of this stuff.
Yeah, I think you can. Massive thank you to anyone that's gone to thatpedalshowstore.com and grabbed some merch. Don't know when this is going to be going out, but I'm assuming 'tis still the season.
Might still be the season.
merchy.
Yeah, you might still be able to get in with a seasonal garment. And also thatpedalshop.com in the USA. And finally, this is the third time I've tried this. Patreon.com/thatpedalshow if you want to support us in that way. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks so much. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.